to take a drink off of that ledge behind home plate on the first pitch. 0-1. I don't think he knocked over a beverage, but I do think a bowl of popcorn is in question. '88 there from Snelling.
It'll wake you up for sure. I had one off the top of the netting in Fort Wayne that gave me a heart attack, and I was ready to go the rest of that game.
I saw your little TikTok.
Terrifying.
It's such a subtle movement from you, but I know exactly how scary that is. By the way, there is some action in the West Michigan bullpen. It could be nothing more than simply just ramping up the scheduled pitcher today. Campos goes down on strikes, and that looks like Wilkel Hernandez. So one away for the Caps. Eli Alfonso's the batter. Here's a look at the Fort Wayne defense.
Murphy in left, Marcy in center, Dunn is out in right. On the infield, Pauly at third, Picardo over at short for Cedeno at second, Martorella at first base for Villar back behind the plate, Robby Snelling on the bump.
Strike one from Snelling. Big time prospect for the San Diego Padres. And he's already worked ahead of Eli Alfonso so far in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The number 39 overall pick in the draft. So far, 1-1 as a tin cap, 4.26 ERA. See those jerseys tonight? That's resembling of their parent club. They are the Midwest League affiliate of the San Diego Padres. So you've got a minor league matchup, at least in terms of their major league affiliates of the 1984 World Series tonight. This one shot to first. Martorella take care of it himself for the second out. But those brown jerseys are resemblance of the San Diego Padres. Padres have had some pretty cool jerseys over the years.
Yeah, they've had some really good combinations, and I love that they have jerseys that resemble the major league team. We do, but with the Tigers, you can't really resemble that jersey. It's so unique and original in its design that you can't really have a copy. They have the Old English D on the sleeve, but you can't really replicate it.
You know, if you sort of turn the Old English D about 90 degrees, it could be an Old English W.
There you go.
Brady Allen's the batter, and it's a ball and a strike. Robby Snelling, just 19 years old, drafted out of high school. So far this year, 72 strikeouts and 64 innings.
And he's big too. He's an athlete, 6'3", 210, was supposed to be a two-sport athlete at the Division I level in Arizona originally before going to LSU, so does it all.
Up the middle, a high hop, Pichardo gets out number 3 and gets Robby Snelling a 1-2-3 start here on Tuesday. Let's go to the bottom of the second. No score in West Michigan. Fort Wayne and the Whitecaps. Gage Workman will lead us off. Zigo's first pitch hunting and bounds it foul. There is continued activity, by the way, for the Whitecaps in their bullpen. As we expected, Wilkel Hernandez is throwing. I would venture to guess we'll probably see him for inning number 3. So we'll keep an eye out on that as Gage Workman takes strike 2. It feels kind of like a reunion week of sorts. You've got Spencer Turnbull on the mound. You've got Gage Workman at the plate. This is kind of like a greatest hits era of the West Michigan Whitecaps.
Had a lot of reunions throughout the course of this year. Now, some players were here longer than others, but it seems like, you know, Bo Brisky, Tarek Skubal, we've seen a lot of different ones.
And speaking of reunions, the former team president, Scott Lane, in the building today. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gage Workman. Just popped over to see us in the press box. Down goes Workman on strikes, 1 away. Here in inning number 2, and now we get a chance to see Luke Gold make his Whitecaps debut. He is the Detroit Tigers' number 17 prospect, and his West Michigan Whitecaps career starts right now. former Boston College Eagle. Smokes it in the left. The first pitch he sees as a Whitecap is his first base hit. I don't know if they're saving the baseballs in high A, but throw that one out of play just to be sure.
That's a great approach by the former 5th rounder there for Detroit. Talked about it on MLB Pipeline. Again, top 20 prospect for the Tigers, number 17. He was a top 100 prospect, number 87 last season. A lot of it has to do with that solid contact, his ability to hit to all fields. Former first team All-SEC 2021 and 2022.
Now it's Isaac Pacheco, and he shoots this one straight up the elevator shaft. Coming in, Pauly from third and on the run to put it away by the batter's circle. Pacheco is out. That'll leave it up to Josh Crouch.
But Gold kind of part of that crop of players, Tigers draftees rather, that they were expecting to translate up pretty quick. They loved their experienced college bats, and he was certainly cut from that cloth. That's a great way to start his career.
This ball off the bat of Crouch is hit deep into right. Lucas Dunn to the wall, reaches up, makes the catch. He puts it away and perhaps steals a home run away from the Whitecaps catcher. It was Monopoly, it was Life. There was a bunch of ones like that.
But the game of life for sure.
Dylan Paulson's the batter as we start the bottom of the third. Jennifer Firestein of AARP, their Associate State Director. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you. It's been great to be here. So it's a great night for a ball game. It's plenty warm and it's dry and sunny and I love it.
Yep, you always have good timing. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is Jennifer Firestein of AARP. Appreciate her taking some time out of her busy schedule to come not only hang out, but also talk to us, spread the word, and spread the mission of all the good people of AARP. Again, you can catch more information. You can go online, and you can go to the AARP website. And that is aarp.org. It's the 1-2 to Paulson. Tips the outside corner. Paulson didn't love it, but it's out number 1 here in inning number 3. One away for Lazaro Benitez. You get a look at some of those numbers. There's Robby Snelling back out for another inning on the mound. He's thrown the first 2 innings, and so far they've been 2 solid innings. He has to face the number 9 batter for the Whitecaps. That's Lazaro Benitez. Huge thanks to Jennifer Firestein hanging out with us from the AARP. Coming up in the top of the 4th, we'll talk with Chris Andrus. Here's a cut and a miss to make it 1-1. Chris Andrus from the Mitten Brewing Company. They were awarded by the Better Business Bureau with their Trust Award. So we'll catch up with Chris in a moment. This one floated on an in-between knuckling hop to first. There's Martorella, and there's out number 2. We'll also have Nate give us a look at the out-of-town scoreboard at the end of this half inning. Because we're just going to be shuttling people in and out for the next 2 innings tonight. But we get Nate next and we find out what's going on, maybe perhaps finding out what Jace Young is up to in his Erie debut. There's Roberto Campos, strike 1. No score in the bottom of the 3rd. And it's 0-2. Well, you weren't kidding about Robby Snelling. He works so quickly.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. You look down for a few seconds, he's already back into his delivery, and again, just 19 years old. He doesn't know anything else other than the pitch clock.
It's kind of the grip it and rip it mentality. 2 strikes on Campos.
And when you combine pace with stuff, that's when you get your best results. And I think that's what we've seen, not just from him this year, but you can also talk about Carlos Pena too.
And he blows the fastball by Roberto Campos to end the 3rd. Working at this ballpark to now doing what you do now.
Well, after college, I was actually a professional musician for 10 years. And my best friend and business partner, Max, we played baseball with when we were kids, started home brewing in the garage, and we wanted to form the first craft beer / sports bar in the area because we loved baseball, and there wasn't a lot of the breweries in town didn't really pay too much attention to sports, and we thought that it would be really cool if we could create the kind of place in our dreams we would hang out at, and that's what we did.
We're in the bottom of the fourth, by the way. 1-0 Fort Wayne over West Michigan. Ellie Alfonso just flew out to shallow center field. The batter is Brady Allen.
And through the years, we've been fortunate to host the Detroit Tigers a few times at our place, and we've had Willie Horton, and actually worked with the Whitecaps to bring some of the players that were here there, Jack Morris and Alan Trammell, and a lot of the people we looked up to. So in many respects, it's a dream come true for a kid who grew up loving baseball.
I would imagine that that has to be one of the best parts about what you're doing now. The chance, because I would assume that those people come in and visit you guys.
Yeah. Well, we have our lobby has Detroit Tiger Stadium seats in it, and my favorite memory is sitting with Alan Trammell in those seats and taking a picture. And I don't know, we're such baseball geeks that every time we get to interact with players we grew up watching is a huge deal to us.
Did you have a favorite player growing up?
Trammell.
Was it?
Yeah. Max and I, my business partner, we always fought over who was going to be number 3 in Little League. So one of us was always 33 or 3. And I copied his stance. I played shortstop. That was our guy. I just loved the way he played the game.
Here's the Whitecap shortstop, Gage Workman, now with the bases empty and 2 outs. 1-0 Fort Wayne on top. Chris is the 6th recipient of the BBB's Trust Award. This is the 3rd year the event has been held here at LMCU Ballpark. How cool is it to get that award at a place like this?
It's fantastic. And I brought the family down. We're going to stay for the game and the fireworks, so it's going to be a great outing.
2 balls, 1 strike on Workman.
And I didn't realize Spencer Turnbull was going to be pitching, so that's in it. I remember I came to the Kenny Rogers rehab start here a long time ago, and that was really cool.
There was a time, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So when you put together, because Mitten Brewing Company was established what year?
2012.
Okay, so were we firmly within the Beer City era at that point?
Not exactly. I think there were 7 breweries within the city limits, which at the time seemed like a lot. We were a little bit concerned that we had missed our moment, and now, of course, there's hundreds of breweries in Michigan. So I lovingly refer to it as the first or second inning of the craft renaissance in Michigan.
Breaking ball, Workman is rung up on strikes, and that's the end of the 4th.
Everybody, long homestand here for West Michigan. Second time, played 12 straight games here at home. Starts here tonight, and his Gold watches strike 1 on the outside. Black, no balls and 1 strike. Robby Snelling has been rolling through this West Michigan lineup, kind of like he did back in Fort Wayne just a few weeks back. Just 1 hit so far in this one. It came from the bat at the plate as Gold fouls 1 off. Spikes 1 over towards the Fort Wayne dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. The first an appearance in a Whitecaps uniform for the Tigers, number 17 overall prospect, according to MLB Pipeline. 1 for 1 with a single. Watch that fastball that buzzes the tower. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Getting Gold out of Boston College, 2-time All-ACC selection for them. Waits the 1-2. Hangs up a little high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But athletics runs in the Gold family, you could say. His sister, 2-time All-ACC softball honoree over at Duke. So he lifts this 2-2 off to the right side. Long run for Martorella as it skips in front of him, foul. Remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. So all told for the Gold family, 4 All-ACC honors between Luke and Anna. Two-two, fastball in there, called 3rd strike. The fans here at LMCU letting Cass Cousins hear it. Another punch out here for Snelling. That's number 5 so far on the day. Here's Isaac Pacheco as we'll get another peek here on replay. Yeah, that's a little low. Here's Pacheco with 1 away. Fastball misses low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So game 1 of this 12-game homestand for West Michigan here tonight. Got some more baseball news for you, though, and it comes from up north. It's Pacheco smokes one into center. It's down in front of Jacob Marcy. Isaac Pacheco has a base hit in this one. So man on, one out. That'll bring in Josh Crouch with one away. But the Northwoods League All-Star Game is tonight. It's actually going on right now up in Traverse City. There's you get a look at it. They had the home run derby last night, but a lot of different players for the Pit Spitters making an appearance. Swing and a miss by Crouch. Catcher Tyler Minnick, Colin Summerhill, first baseman, Glenn Miller, third baseman, who actually participated in the home run derby last night. Outfielder Parker Brocious, Nick Powers, pitcher out of that bullpen who's been dynamite. Cut and a miss, makes it no balls and 2 strikes here against Crouch. Mitch White and Ethan Foley. But the interesting thing about that home run derby last night, if you don't know anything about Traverse City and that stadium, Turtle Creek Stadium, it plays pretty deep. The dimensions aren't quite the same as they are here in West Michigan. They don't make them this big everywhere. But just the design and the outlook of that stadium, it's a pretty deep ballpark for the most part. And they had their home run derby last night. Brandon Nye of the Kenosha Kingfish actually ended up winning it. He had 5 homers in that one. Glenn Miller, the lone representative for Traverse City, had 1 of them. Those poor guys were trying to hit it out of what is a very big ballpark in the Northwoods League, but 25 all told in that home run derby. And then the All-Star Game here tonight. That'll be on ESPNU. 2-2. Crouch sends one high and deep to right, although it's foul. We'll set it up and do it again here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remind you, back in the 2nd inning, Crouch nearly had a home run in that one. To the opposite field, it was Lucas Dunn who leapt up, was able to grab it, save what was a scoreless inning. So he skies this 2-2 into center. Kind of that medium territory, bunch of different players swarming, and it's Marcy who calls everyone off. 4 out, number 2. That'll bring in Dylan Paulson with 2 away and a man on first. Congratulations to Traverse City being able to host that All-Star Game. Those 7 players that they sent, by the way, the most of any team in the Northwoods League. The coaching staff will also be coaching the East Side. Of course, Traverse City going back to the playoffs. So swings outside here to Paulson, 1 ball and no strikes. 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the 3rd inning. Pit Spitters yet again heading back to the postseason. Cut and a miss on that one, diving low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, it was Kalamazoo who ended up winning the Northwoods League title last year. So last 2 seasons, titles come back to Michigan. Fouled off back into the netting. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Snelling's 1-2, just misses the outside edge, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a top 5 prospect for the San Diego Padres is Snelling, all of 19 years old for a team that's very young across the board. Now the 2-2. Check swing, doesn't matter. Sneaks over the outside edge for strike 3. Roberto Campos, Eliezer Alfonso. Robby Snelling still on the bump here for Fort Wayne as he delivers a first pitch strike, no balls and 1 strike. Generally speaking, this one's fouled back, 0-2. Padres don't mind having their starting pitchers out there for a little bit longer than some other organizations. Snelling has certainly gone very long in a couple of his starts so far this season. One's high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. West Michigan, the last time that he faced them, that's the longest that he's had so far in the Midwest League. 5 2/3. Again, we mentioned 1 run, 5 strikeouts, but 5 has generally been the cutoff. He's trying to make this one of his longest starts of the year. 63 pitches, so he's been doing it. He's been doing it efficiently so far in this one. Benitez 0 for 1. Fouls it off. He'll still stay alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little bit of a rough start his last time out for Snelling, though, against Lake County. 2 innings in that one, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. That has been a trend that hasn't really been common for him. It's just his 4th start here in the Midwest League. 1-2. Benitez staying alive, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Benitez 1 for 4 with a run scored his last time out. Former non-drafted free agent back in 2018. Feeds this one off the foot of Snelling and past Picardo into the outfield. Benitez reaches first on a single. A good way to set up the top of this lineup. Roberto Campos now in with 1 on and none out. Well, I know it was yesterday technically. We didn't have a game yesterday, and I just wanted to wish a very, very happy birthday. This one swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike to the city of Detroit. 322 years. City, 1701 initially became. This one's flown to right field. Deep foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Celebrating all the things that make Detroit good, most specifically the Coney dog. This one lifted to the right side. It's going to be a long run. It drops foul over in the Whitecaps bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. There's a lot of things that make Detroit great. I also saw the Tigers during their last homestand celebrating the Detroit Stars over 100 years. Oh, 2. Ripped foul. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Got him. Swung on and missed by Campos. Another strikeout against him. 1 away. That'll bring in Eliezer Alfonso. Well, all in all, a good rehab appearance for Spencer Turnbull here today. 2 innings for the Caps. Won't be the last time we see him pitch here for West Michigan. Hope is that we'll get another chance to see him on Sunday. So back-to-back starts you're going to want to see this weekend for West Michigan. Jackson Jobe making his return on Saturday, and then hopefully Spencer Turnbull yet again on Sunday. It was 2 innings of scoreless ball for him here in this game today. Alfonso watches one dip low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Did give up a double as well as a triple, but was able to work around a lot of trouble. Did get a strikeout in the 2nd inning. Big cut and a miss. That bender low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But again, it's just all about how he feels physically, and that's, of course, what the Tigers are looking for. It's anxious not getting live reps for that stretch of time, but just have to make sure that he's in the right place from that standpoint. Alfonso fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, missed the 2022 season due to Tommy John surgery, so that's a tough one to come back from. Of course, a lot of different pitchers come back stronger. That's becoming kind of commonplace in baseball. High and outside on that breaker. Hangs up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turnbull, one of the best, again, in that rotation for Detroit in 2021 before being sidelined with that injury. This one flown to right. Done in a few steps as he finds it. 2 away. His return throw to first, nearly in time. Getting back is Benitez. He was halfway between first and second. Fortunately, isn't erased off the base paths. 2 away here for Brady Allen. And that's something the Whitecaps have gotten themselves in trouble with a lot, specifically in the first half and beginning in the second half. Had a few instances in Fort Wayne where they ran themselves into outs. It's certainly been one of the points they've been trying to correcting. Allen is swinging a miss on that heater. No balls and 1 strike. Fouled back into the glove of Villar. Now no balls and 2 strikes here against Brady Allen. Expecting to see Angel Reyes make the start tomorrow. Troy Melton, Willie Ander Moreno, and then we talked about Jackson Jobe coming up on Sunday. Allen awaits the 0-2. Fed to the right side and into right field. Around second, Benitez, he's into third. That was the right place to put that one. Brady Allen has him on the corners with 2 away. You'll see it here on replay. No one even close to that ball through the right side. Took it where it was, put it into right field. No activity in the Tin Caps bullpen. So they're relying on Robby Snelling to get through this one again. This was the cutoff point in his last start against West Michigan, 5 2/3. If he can get this last out here against Gage Workman, it would be his longest start so far in the Midwest League. Workman 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pitch Bender in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Workman back with West Michigan. Started his season up at AA Erie. He's trying to work on a few things down here at High A. As he checks his swing on that fastball up high. Did not go through. Now 2-0. So looks like some activity will begin over in the Tin Caps dugout, or rather bullpen. Great hitters count here for Workman, 2-0. Watches a heater miss wide. 3 balls and no strikes. If he were to get on base, that would bring in Luke Gold. An opportunity to potentially tie it up or put the Caps ahead. Game tying run over at third, and Benitez, the go-ahead run, and Allen stationed on first here with 2 outs. Workman played for West Michigan, though, back in 2021. 21 doubles, 9 homers, 39 RBIs to finish that season here in West Michigan. Watches a fastball lower, outside edge. 3 balls and 1 strike. Drafted back in 2020, 4th round pick of Arizona State. Same college that gave us Spencer Torkelson. Fouls that one off, runs it to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Talked about the versatility of Workman too, and that's what made him such an exciting player to watch broadcast for back in that season. He can hit, he can run. Looking for a clutch swing. Here 3-2. Got him.